Thinks Lunar got killed. Boys, back at it again. Gentlemen, another day. Guys, we have a lot to do today. We have so much to do today, I actually don't know if we're going to even be able to do it all. There is a whole lot that is going on. So gentlemen, yes, we have Allcraft today with Xeno. This has been something that a lot of people have asked for quite a while. Today is the day that it's finally going to happen. Also, sup y'all, it's me. It's your boy Asmongold. And today, we have a number of things to do. Yesterday, we finally I'm so glad, man. I'm so glad we killed Nidhogg, man. It was so good. And listen, today we might play some more of that. We might get more into that. Obviously, we have more Gamescom stuff. I don't know what's happening today at Gamescom. People said it was just some bullshit show. I have no idea, so I'll have to figure that out. Excuse me, whenever it's going to happen. And, other than that, we are going to be continuing more of that other stuff, okay? And Stormblood today, yeah, skip Gamescom. Why do people want me to skip Gamescom? Yeah, why would people want me to skip Gamescom? I'm a little bit confused why. It's not going to have anything in it. It's boring. Well, it's not. Was it boring yesterday? I don't think so. I don't think it was boring at all. No. Of course it wasn't boring yesterday. No, there's no way it was. Are you crazy? There's no way. We've seen all trailers. Yeah, I'm not sure. And yeah, I have no idea. Not boring at all. Yeah, it's weird that people would say that, man. And I had 100,000 viewers, and somehow people are trying to convince me that it was boring. Yeah, I have a feeling that it wasn't. Okay, like let's be honest. All right. It's fucking obvious. So yes, that is a wrong opinion. I think that Gamescom was very entertaining. I don't know if I'm going to do it again today, though. I'll be honest, I really don't. I have no idea, but we'll have to find out, and I'll go ahead and decide from there. But either way, if it's going to be the same stuff as yesterday, we're going to watch it again 100%. And if it's not, then we're going to probably not watch it. That's what it comes down to. I heard that it's going to be some other different kind of content, so I guess we'll find out then. And Gamescom bad, Asmon good. Polit, people say it's boring, I have short attention spans, 2-minute trailers, Gamescom bad. Guys, it's boring. Most part, content FOMO's already come. I don't know, man. I feel like it's weird, right? Because like I made a tweet about that I was going live, and it was just a bunch of people complaining that they didn't like Gamescom. Like I don't know. Like the thing is, to me, is like it was boring as fuck. You just watch it. Like I'll be honest, guys. Like I can't make decisions. Like I can't make decisions. I can't think. I can't make decisions. So I have no idea what this is, man. It's hard for me to get it. And do what you want to do. Yeah, I get it. I don't want to get into some weird shit this early on into the stream, though. Okay, I really don't. But that's kind of awesome. And these, what does it say? Oh, is this what it is? All right, let me go ahead and double check here. Gamescom, wait, where the hell is it? Gamescom Indie Showcase and Future Games show is today. Well, that sounds good, but if it's just like indie games, the thing is with a lot of indie games, I feel like a lot of them do kind of suck, man. Yeah, I have no idea, and it's just, it's weird because like a lot of the games that come out, like I don't want to be like super mean about the games, and this is the truth, right? I don't want to be super mean about the games, but at the same time, I don't want to go and just pretend like they're good. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to pretend like they're good, but many of them are fucking bad. Like they're just garbage games. And it's like Valheim was the exception. Yes, Valheim was the exception. There have been many indie games that have come out over the years that have been quite good. But there have been many other indie games that have come out over the years that nobody fucking remembers because they weren't. So I think indie games are one of those things where like you're kind of just playing the odds. Like, you know, you watch 100 indie game trailers and maybe 2 of them are going to be good. So wait, so is Blizzard launching something? Listen, the Blizzard stuff, all of that, I've talked about that for so fucking long. I think that honestly, so many people, this is the way that I feel about it. I've said this many times, right? But this is the way I feel about the Blizzard stuff, is that I am just, I'm very apathetic. I think at this point, I am just very apathetic towards the, towards Blizzard. I don't know if they're ever going to make a good game again. I'm tired. Yeah, it's just like, it's so tiring. It's like, oh, well, they did this other thing that was dumb. And it's like, they do the same, like, if next expansion if next expansion for WoW, like I'll obviously play the next expansion pretty much no matter what it is. But if the next expansion has the same problems that it had in Shadowlands, where like you have like the systems that are put into the game, and then the systems are like they're really annoying, and like Blizzard refuses to fix them, and like we spend all this time like kind of fighting against Blizzard about like making the game better. Like if that happens again, I'm just going to stop playing. Like that's really all it comes down to. Because the thing is, I can still go back and play Burning Crusade, I can still go back and play Classic WoW or whatever, but there's really no reason for me to continue playing a game like that, because it just doesn't respect my time. And I think that's one of the biggest and most frustrating things. It's like 75% it'll be the same shit. Yeah, I know that, I'm worried about that, but at the end of the day, like you have to say somewhere, like it's just too much, right? Like I sat through it with BFA because they made slow improvements throughout the expansion. And I'm like, okay, they're finally learning that players know what they want. And this is the same thing that happened with Legion too, with like the Legendaries. Like people wanted the system that was in at the end of Legion at the beginning, and it never happened. So we went through 2 expansions of that, and then Shadowlands comes out. Everybody's complaining about the Covenants. Nobody likes conduit energy. Most people don't even like or know what conduits even are. And there's all these other things that they're adding into the game, and it's just tiring, man. Like that's all it comes down to. It's just tiring. Why do I want to play a game that's just designed to make me do the same thing over and over, you know? And that's really the way that I feel about it. It's sad. And I don't really intend to just like quit playing WoW entirely, right? Like I'm sure I'll probably always have an active sub, and I might log on every once in a while, okay? Like I'm not saying this is like a cold turkey. I'm quitting, you know, I'm putting my feet down and I'm saying this is what's gonna happen. I'm quitting the game 100%. That's not really where I'm getting at, okay? What I'm saying is that I'll probably just stop playing it. Like, I mean, in like a general sense. And yes, I will watch the Preach video. I know that's been suggested before. I think I'll have to refresh this. But, I will watch the Preach video today because he's, oh yeah, I can find it. It's fucking somewhere here. Anyway, I'll watch that today too, because Preach has talked about the games that he's been playing and the stuff that he's been doing outside of WoW as well. So yes, it's not going to be a Final Fantasy ending, okay? I want to make sure people understand that. I want to play a lot of other MMOs, and I want to get into a lot of other things. It's not just Final Fantasy. I know there's a lot of people that wish it was, because that's one thing that's been very popular on my stream recently. A lot of people enjoyed that. We'll watch the Lazy Larry video, or whatever the fuck that guy's name is. We'll watch that stuff, okay, too. Don't worry about it, guys. We've got a number of things to look at, number of things to do. To me, like, I have no Lazy Larry, whatever it was, okay? I don't remember. And, anyway, so we are going to do whatever we need to, okay? We're going to play whatever's good. And I think this is a healthy mindset to have. There are a lot of people who are still stuck back in their tribalism days, and I think that, you know, in a lot of ways, like, I feel the same way, but I try to overcome it because I don't think it's good for anything. It's not good for games, because if game knows that it's going to have a sale, this is the same thing with pre-orders. Like, I cannot understand how gamers and players nowadays allow pre-orders to exist. Like, I don't know why every single person who is going to buy a video game sees that there's a pre-order and they just don't absolutely go fucking apeshit about it. Now, I understand that to a certain degree, pre-orders are not that bad. And the reason why I think they're not that bad in many cases, like, let me give you an example, okay? For World of Warcraft, I think a pre-order is not that bad because it gives them an idea of like a head count, like people RSVPing. So how many servers and how much resources do we need in order to run the game at this time and not have it completely catch on fire, right? It's the same thing as Endwalker. Endwalker's the same thing. New World is the same thing. You have to have an idea of how many people are going to play the game. And am I wrong about this, right? And they still, yes, and they still fuck it up. But to be honest, though, the Shadowlands release, many of you guys can probably attest to this, the Shadowlands release actually did quite well. Am I wrong about that? Online games in general, yeah, it's the same thing as like, you know, like an FPS game or something like that. I think that it's important for them to be able to have an idea of how many people are going to play the game. That's good for them. So pre-orders in some circumstances are okay, but I'm sorry. If you are trying to fucking add in a pre-order for a game that's offline, that you can play offline, I don't want to fucking hear about it, okay? Like, there is no reason for a pre-order. Now, a lot of you guys might be a little bit younger. So you might not remember why pre-orders existed. Let me explain why pre-orders used to exist. So back in the day, back in the old days, you would go to Blockbuster, you would go to EB Games, you would go to Game Crazy, you would go to GameStop, or you would just go to Best Buy or the mall or something like that, the Best Buy at the mall. Yeah, one of these stores. And these stores, you would go there the day the game came out. And they would buy, like, let's say, 150 copies of Super Mario Sunshine. So you would get pre-orders, so you would be able to reserve one of those 150 copies because they would have that many reserved for each of the people that were pre-ordering. And nowadays, we're not going to GameStop to buy the fucking box. We don't need it anymore. It's not necessary. So, as I said before, yes, this is before digital downloads. This was a way to get a head count to know how many items to stock before we had digital downloads. And that's the way it used to be. And it was so cool, right? Like, if you guys ever been to a midnight release or like a day one release of, like, maybe nowadays we have consoles. So, my friend Eric and I, we went and we got, it's over there, I don't want to go get it, but we got the Super Nintendo, the little box for the actually, I'll go get it. Give me 1 second, just so I can tell the story, and you guys know what I'm talking about. Give me 1 second. It's like literally right over here. So, just a second. It's a little bit dusty. I haven't really used it that much. Let me just wipe it off. Okay, that should be good. All right. So we went to GameStop at 7 in the morning. 7 in the fucking morning, and we bought the Super Nintendo. This was the miniature Super Nintendo. This thing, obviously, you know, we both grew up on it. And the funniest fucking thing about it is, like, back whenever you would see, you'd go to, like, let's say the World of Warcraft, you know, midnight release of an expansion. You go to the Burning Crusade release, the Cataclysm release. I think Cataclysm had digital download, but people were still buying a lot of pre-orders. Like, I went to every single one. Mists of Pandaria was the first one that I did not go to. I don't think I'm pretty sure I bought Mists of Pandaria online. But anyway, so even D3, yeah, D3 too. I don't remember D3 because I remember downloading D3 directly from the thing, the launcher. But either way, so we go there, and if you went to like one of the Warcraft releases, you'd see a bunch of people in like Horde t-shirts, a bunch of people in Alliance t-shirts, etc. With the Super Nintendo, the only thing that you saw whenever you were buying a Super Nintendo, the brand new one, is late 20s and 30-year-old men with their wives in the car. They're fucking tired because it's 8 in the morning and their husband drugged them or their boyfriend drugged them to go all the way up to GameStop and wait for them to buy the new fucking game, to buy the new console. And it was so funny, man. It was just full of a bunch of, you know, 20 and 30-year-old balding men that were here to buy the new Super Nintendo to relive their childhood one last fucking time. And here, actually not one last fucking time. They're gonna release another one of these probably in 10 years, and we're gonna buy that one too. But let's be honest, and then that time we'll have our kids there. Maybe you can go inside and pick it up for us. So listen, this was really, really fun to get. Obviously, it was great. I had some good memories of it. But the fact is that you can't download that. So the pre-order was still fun. It was great. Drugged? Yeah, whatever, okay? Like, you guys know what I'm saying, all right? Yeah, drug the kids, compel them to buy. Well, the kids got ADD. You gotta make them do what you need them to do, okay? That's all it comes down to. So now they sit in tents for Supreme t-shirts. I've seen that, man. People that actually sit, like, people that buy a tent to just put it next to a store so they can be the first person to get inside that store to buy a $300 like pair of shoes, to buy a pair of pants that has a logo on it. Like, that's crazy. And yeah, it's not a Supreme tent, by the way. This is like a you know, modern forestry tent or some sort of you know, Everlast tent. It's not anything that's super serious. It's always the shitty tents, dude. It's what America's all about. Yeah, exactly. Their logo is lame also. Listen, it's not about the logo. I've never owned anything from Supreme. Now, obviously, if I somehow am given a Supreme t-shirt, I might wear it. But the thing is with me, like, I like shirts like this. I bought this shirt at Target. It's very comfortable. And the reason why it's so comfortable for me is it doesn't have any shit on it. Like, I hate shirts that have shit on it. Like, you have, like, people, there's like a... it like touches your chest in like a weird way. Like, I like having a very, very comfortable, soft t-shirt. That's it. Like, if I was blind, I would have absolutely no trouble picking out t-shirts because I pick them out purely by what they look like. or sorry, purely by how they feel, not what they look like. And I prefer that. I just completely fucking prefer that, because I could go and put my hand on it. I'm like, this looks good. I don't care if the shirt is pink. I don't care if it's black. I don't care if it's green. It doesn't matter to me, because as long as I see, I have very, very bad dyslexia. Okay, you have to understand this. Like, I've never been I'm not really, basically, I can't, the words sometimes are not what they're supposed to be, is what I'm trying to say. Yes, they're not what they're supposed to be. And I have to really think about what I'm saying. You guys might not know this, but I used to record YouTube videos. I used to do YouTube videos. And I would sometimes record a 5-minute YouTube video for an hour. Because I had such bad verbal dyslexia, I would keep saying the words out of order. It was actually the most frustrating thing ever in my whole life. It was so fucking bad. So yeah, sometimes you're gonna have some fuck-ups, but that's the way it goes. You're having a stroke? Yeah, I've been having a stroke for the past 30 years, okay? Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so yes, you're the one-take king. I am the one-take king. But the thing is, that one take, I do it all in one take, but that one take is actually take 6 years. Okay? So yes, as soon as I get it and as soon as I'm rolling, we go right down the hill, no problem. But we have to actually make sure that we make that first step. Okay, that's all it comes down to. Speak as well. Yeah, listen, I do know how to speak idiot, okay? Haven't you guys seen the Dungeons & Dragons stream? That's the way it goes. I miss WoW. Please play it again. I think that there are a lot of people who miss WoW. But the thing is, the game has just, like, in a way, like, why would I go out of my way to play the game? Like, why would I log on to World of Warcraft? And this is, like, a very interesting question. Like, what would be the reason that I would play that video game? And right now, I can't really say. I have no idea. There's nothing that would make me want to do that. Like, the thing is that there are so many things in the game that are artificially hard to get. It's like you can only get, 2 eggs a day for, like, the Razor Scale egg. You can only kill this mob, and if you have to be on this class in order to receive this transmog item, I don't want to deal with it. Like, it's just fucking boring. Like, it's annoying. Like, I don't like playing the game and feeling like I'm always wearing ankle weights. And that's the way I feel. I feel like there's always it's like there's always something else I have to do. There's always something else I have to worry about. Will I ever play WoW again? Yes, I will. Obviously, of course I will. I'm sure I will soon. But that soon is not yet, okay? That's what it comes down to. And, 20-year long relationship? Yeah, it's like, I get so bored. You promised us You promised us Mythic Sanctum. I did, and I'm probably not going to do it. So I'm going to have to go back on that. I'm probably just not going to do it. I raided in WoW just a little bit, and it reminded me of how boring it was. Like, it was just so boring for me to just pull the boss and have people like, oh wow, you know, this is like the 8th pull of the boss, and you did the mechanic wrong again. Like, I don't want to do that. It's just so, I don't want to do that. Like, it's such a waste of my time. And that's all it comes out, is a waste of my time. Like, that's why I stopped raiding. And that's the truth, man. The raids are fine, the other people make it boring. Exactly. And maybe one day, like, because to me, it's like either I join a raid that's like super progressive, and then I'm the person who's dying, because I've never seen the mechanics before. That's what happened on, like, Heroic Sylvanas. And I just left the group. I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I feel like I'm a liability. And this is the way that a lot of people feel. And it's frustrating, but I don't really see that changing. That's the truth. Will I play DC whenever Phase 2 comes out? Absolutely. I'll play it for a few weeks and I'll be done. Like, that's it. Like, what comes out for Phase 2? We get Serpent Shrine Caverns, we get Tempest Keep. That's going to be probably 3 days of stream content, realistically, because we're going to go in there and hug it, etc. And then after that, we'll be pretty much done. Like the fact that when dies in Final Fantasy, it is a sudden wipe. That's a huge thing, man. It's like knowing that you have to go through 15 minutes of perfect play in order to get to the point where you want to be. And if somebody dies early that you can't res them, I think having reses in Final Fantasy, as many as you can do, actually makes raiding for me so much more enjoyable. Because I know that it's not just instantly over at these different points in time in the game. And that's what I really, really appreciate, and that's what I really, really enjoy. I like that a lot. Yeah, I definitely do. And Lost Ark is a banned phrase in the Gamescom chat, by the way. I mean, let's say you have people that are trying to promote their game, and people are all spamming about another game. I can see why they would do that, but I think it does kind of imply that we're not going to get any Lost Ark content. Okay, that's what it really comes down to. Anyway, let's look at some of these threads. I'm ready for all crap later. Excited to see Juno in the show. This is good. I like this one. I recognize Asmon, but who's the dude with the hair? That's great. That's great. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. Haha. Very, very fucking funny. Hilarious. This is a great video. Oh, I literally never even saw Ridge. Like, I was looking at this picture for like 5 minutes before I clicked over to it. I never even saw Ridge until right now that somebody said his name in chat. I'm sorry to say, but I was just what it was. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. It's fucking sad, but there it is. Lala Red, yeah, exactly. Asmongold versus Zach Rar. Listen, back in the day, and you need to play another game then. I know that there's a lot of people who are not happy about, not happy about the fact I'm playing Final Fantasy 14, etc. But I'm going to play, and this is something that I have to make sure is very clear. Any game complainer Andy's, we're probably just going to permaban. Because I don't know a single variety streamer that doesn't permaban game complainer Andy's. Am I right about that? Like, because I know, I'm pretty sure Lyric does it. I know Soda does it. Soda permabans. I mean, I assume that you do anything in this chat, he'll permaban, right? If you fucking annoy him, you're permaban. Yeah, everybody fucking does that. So yeah, Forsen does it, XQC does it, etc. Yeah, anybody fucking does this. So any game complainer is just a permaban. Yeah, SQ goes off the game players. Yeah, exactly. It's just so stressful to have people constantly trying to force something on you. So yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. So if there's any game complainers or anything like that, that's just going to be a permaban. That's really all there is to it. So just keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. It's incredible. It's even drawn to scale. Yeah, sure. Bald and the Mauled, also poor Rich. He's also officially Little Witch. This all crap is going to be awesome. Yeah, I think so. I'm really looking forward to it. Absolutely. Asmon hiding some blues under his shirt, and Rich is on his platform boots. Okay, alright, so let's go over here and we'll look at the other ones. Tweets from the future. They said I couldn't do it, but here it is, boys. Every savage done, minimum item level. Palace of the Dead yeeted, T deleted. See y'all on Friday for Endwalker. Yeah, I think November 17th for that to happen is, it's possible, okay? It definitely is possible. There's a lot for me to do, okay? There's a lot for me to fucking do in Final Fantasy, and I'm going to do as much as I possibly fucking can, but overall, it is going to take me quite a while to get some of this stuff done. I'll be honest, that I get very overwhelmed with the amount of things that are in the game. Like, there's a part of me that wishes I could just go into, like, as I said, like the Dragon Ball Z, the hyperbolic time chamber, and just farm out all of the super long achievement mounts and just get those done. Because what kind of sucks is, like, I have a lot of those things in WoW, and, like, I'm happy I have those in WoW, but it sucks because I don't have those in other games, too. Like, I can only have that in, like, one game, which is like, oh, man, like, I wish I had this, I wish I had that, I wish I had farmed this. Because y'all know, if I had been playing Final Fantasy ever since it came out, I would have probably every fucking mount in the game. So I feel bad about that because I don't. That's what it comes down to, okay? Picture of the moth in the comments, by the way. Picture of the moth. Couldn't have cut it much closer than that. I'm officially the handsome motherfucker with Yukov Claymore and Necromancer title. Fridays and Walkers. Far enough now into Eureka that I kind of want to have sex with a moth. Look, here's what I usually do with moths, okay? So I have this thing here, and this basically, whenever I see a moth, I just hit it with this electric fly swatter, and it deletes the moth. That's basically what this does. It's so useful, it's so nice. I don't see any of them here. I'm sure they'll make them go. Yeah, I kill them every single time. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Doesn't make a difference to me. So let's go over here. Asmon on Ultimate. Do you understand I have no job? I can no life this so hard. Chat after watching Asmon's a Gold Saucer, ERP, and Palace of the Dead. There's a reason we doubt. We don't doubt your ability. We see you do great and wow. You've got the skill. The game just has too many fun things to do. There's too many things to know life. Too much temptation and cackles of throwing this anyway. The thing is, we see your side of the argument. Every time it brings up to a Necro and Ultimate says good enough. And this is actually what I've thought about a lot. And like I told you guys about the story with like Palace of the Dead, right? Is that in Palace of the Dead, and talking about too much to do, well, it's more like in Palace of the Dead, I felt like I was like forcing myself to like push for this thing, and like I'm the kind of person, like I don't know if you guys are like this, whenever I first start something, there will be a point very early on where I just stop. I just stop doing it. Like for whatever it is, I like lose interest in it. I get mad about it, etc. I get pissed off, whatever it is, and I'll have to stop the game, and then I will come back to it, and then I'll be fully ready to like immerse myself into the game. It's like I get kind of overwhelmed by the newness of a game and by the amount of things I need to learn, and I just shut down mentally, and I have to take time away from it to like really process everything that I had to deal with. And it sounds like really stupid, right? But like I can't do it. Like it's happened to me with like Valheim, it happened to me with like mini games. It happened to me also with WoW back in the day. Yeah, I come back, I wonder why I ever stopped. Well, no, it's only usually like a few days that I take a break from it and I come back to it. But like there's something about that like really gives me the ability to like see things contextually. Because going into the game, like you guys have seen, whenever I go into a new game, I get like super overwhelmed and there's like sensory overload and I can't think, right? Like it's bad. So it gives me time to just move away from that and just kind of process all of that myself personally, and then I can get back and play the game. Happens to everyone. Yeah, overload, exactly. And this can happen to me a lot, and that's one of the reasons why I have trouble playing new games, is because I can't really go through the normal way that I handle things. What do you think about even Tally quitting WoW? Did Tally say that he was quitting WoW? I thought that he just said that he was stopping streaming it temporarily until the lawsuit stuff happened. Is that what it was? Yeah, what is that? He stopped playing for now. Wow. He's done for now. God damn. Let me see if I can find it. Did he tweet about this? Let me see. Oh, no, I guess, all right, it might have been something else later on. Marvel Future. Yeah, this was actually, okay, it must have been something he might have said on a stream or something like that, sure. But to me, like, I don't really consider that a surprise. So who cares? I think it is a big deal, right? Tally has played the game for so long. He streamed it forever. So, yeah, I would consider that kind of a big deal. Absolutely. Is YouTube? Yeah, sure. You watch the new Carbot animation. I'll have to see that at some point. How do you free scroll Twitter like that, bro? I'm only free scrolling accounts that I know will not retweet and do things that are not safe for work, right? That's the way I handle it, obviously. Yeah, but it's his latest YouTube video. Let me see if I can find that. I'll see how long it is. I think I spelled his name wrong. Let's see here. Is there any sort of new video? I'll go ahead and just double check. Oh, holy shit! Okay, yeah. Yeah, I watched this one, so yeah, it's just something that was later on. Okay, sorry about that. Either way, we'll go ahead and we'll talk about that later or something. I'm not going to worry about right now. I do want to go back to what I was saying about Final Fantasy, right? Is that whenever I first started getting into Final Fantasy, I was really, really having a lot of fun just playing the game. I was just enjoying the game. I was just logging on, and everything was new to me. Everything was fun. I didn't have to worry about anything else. So then as soon as I started like creating these goals for myself, I started telling myself, oh, I need to do this. Oh, I have to do that. Well, I need to get to this point in the game so I can complete this, and then after I complete this, I'll be able to enjoy myself in some way or another. And this happened for such a long time that I really got tired of it. And I realized that what I was doing to myself is I was turning Final Fantasy into World of Warcraft. Like, I was creating benchmarks, and I was creating weekly quests, and I was creating daily quests for myself. And I was creating the exact kind of content that I was trying to, I've been trying to get away from, right? I like having the free form activity. And like making your own goals in a lot of ways is like a completely different thing and a completely different process mentally and emotionally than having them given to you, if that makes sense. So yes, obviously, of course it is different, but I don't think it's that much different. And what happened with me is I realized that, and I told myself, I'm like, well, this is not fun. Am I enjoying myself? myself? Am I having fun right now? And the truth was honestly and so plainly and clearly, no, it was not. And I realized that I was doing Palace of the Dead. And I was doing Palace of the Dead. I was on floor like 123 or 5 or something like that, right? And I looked away for like 1 second, and I walked into a circle that was put by an ad, and I got hit by an explosion, one shot. And I died. And I realized at that exact moment, I was like, this is the best thing that could have possibly happened to me. Because I know now that I can't like get it ready for my stream tomorrow. I have to just deal with it on my own. It was one of the best things that could happen to me. Because I could just enjoy myself after that and not have to worry about, meeting this expectation or meeting this deadline that I created for myself. So stop promising things to chat. I'm not promising things to chat. I'm promising them to myself. Like, I want to set goals. I want to be able to talk about the goals that I have, etc. And I enjoy doing it. But at the same time, that enjoyment of like obtaining and like meeting those goals should not come at the and this is kind of the thing that I said about letting you know about the dark side of the game. No, it's not about the Palace of Dead. Like, I want to get necromancy. Like, this is something I want to do, but I don't want to turn it into a job. Does that make sense? So I will progress on it. I plan on getting it before Endwalker, but I'm not going to force myself into doing it to an extent that it becomes unfun for me and I begin to dislike the game. Does that make sense? So it's like I don't need to push myself that hard, and yeah, there's no reason for it, and it doesn't help me, and it doesn't do anything. Like, I'm probably going to start another run, like maybe today or tomorrow or something, and I can just go from there. That's really all there is to it. I don't want to burn myself out, okay? That's all it really comes down to. I don't want to burn myself out, and I will not do that. You might dislike the game, but you will dislike Palace of the Dead. I just don't want to put myself in a position, but it's just not, it's not something I want to do. That's all it comes down to. Perfectly reasonable, just have fun. Exactly. And that's what I really want to do. I just want to have fun and play the game without creating a bunch of arbitrary rules for myself. So what I'm saying here, like the reason why I went off on such a tangent for this is that I used to plan on meeting these goals, but I don't want to turn them into this like weird thing with Chad, and like Chad's like trying to push me, you're not meeting your goals, you're not meeting your goals. Like, that's like having a boss trying to ask you, have you finished those TPS reports yet, okay? Like, I don't want to do that, and so that's why I haven't been as vocal about that stuff. They're still goals of mine, but they're not things that I want to vocalize and have be like this weird, like thing that's hanging over my head. That's all it comes down to. Yeah, I just want to play the game and have fun. That's all it is. And hopefully, for me, having fun is completing these goals, but it's not making them goals and like forcing myself to do it. It's a nuance, but I think that a lot of people can probably understand it. Check comments from on. What's the on? I can't see it. Let me see. This community shouldn't give a shit for it either. So much fun stuff to do. 12 weeks of 60 streams. Yeah, sure. I'm going to do as much content as I possibly can. His pants flew up every time. I don't know what that click is there. Penny, mod check. I have no idea what that is. Eva, please step on me, but Penny can chop my shit off. Can I click on this link? Yeah, can I click on this link or not? I'm a little bit worried about it. Yes? Okay. Wow. So what part of the game is this? Yeah, what part of the game is this? I'm a little bit confused. This is part of Eureka. Damn. See, I told you it was going to be good content. Absolutely. Yeah, there we fucking go. Dragon Song, the full truth. This is just a bunch of text. I'm not going to look at that right now. Shreddy coming soon to the WoW Pet Store. All the money raised will go towards Blizzard's upcoming punitive damages. Oh, no. Oh, no. Come on. Haven't they suffered enough? Haven't they had to deal with enough bullshit, guys? Shreddy, $250. Wow, it's very cheap. Oh my god, it's sad, but there it is. I can't believe that they actually did that. I will be very surprised if it wasn't true, though. Like, if I had to guess, I bet they did remove certain documents and make them harder for California and the different agencies to see. More plushies? What the fuck? Yes, obviously more plushies. They couldn't even make an amount? Holy fuck. Well, that's actually a good thing for you, man, because if it was a mount, it would be $500 instead of $250, okay? So keep that in mind. Tomorrow's all crowds. Wait, why am I a tree? Yeah, why the fuck am I a tree? What the hell? What did I do to be turned into a tree? The fuck is this, dude? Why? Yeah, I'm a sprout. Okay, yeah, sure. That makes sense, actually. Damn. Okay, that actually does make sense. Failure's got his back. You don't get a free pass to be toxic just because someone has a larger reach than you. I don't know, man. IRL, talk shit, get hit. That's why people tend to be more reasonable in person and way OTT online. Over the top, I guess. Do people think they're entitled to play Nazmon and not get a response? Yeah, there's a lot of people that think like this, okay? Because these people, they live their entire lives by contextualizing different types of, basically, they live their entire life in the context of these artificial food chains that they've created for society. So if they believe that there's somebody who's higher up in the food chain than they are, then they can be vitriolic and abusive towards that person with impunity. They don't, it doesn't really matter to them. Like, they can do that and it's okay. So yeah, I've seen this happen a lot, and it's, to me, I want to make sure it's very clear. If somebody talks shit to me, I will talk shit back. And old Buck, thank you much for 5 good subs. Like, I'm not going to high road anybody either. I've said this before. I will not high road anybody unless they're doing that too. But if somebody takes the low road, I'll meet them there. That's all it comes down to. I am not going to let people talk shit about me, and I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Like, you know, you say this to me, and then people get mad at me. Well, yeah, but what do you think happens when you say something bad about me, right? Like, there's times that people don't realize the fact that whenever they say something bad about me, or they say something bad about another person, then that other person will get hate. So if that person retaliates and responds to it, and then the first person's response to that is, oh, now I'm getting hate, what the fuck do you think you were doing to him? What do you think you were doing? Like, what is the best case scenario? Exactly. Read my tweets in the Fellure thread. I don't need to look at this too much, okay? All I'm saying is that, yeah, if somebody's going to do this to me, I don't care how big or how small they are, I will immediately go back on them. Sometimes. Not always, but sometimes I will. That's what it comes down to. What's your thoughts on Age of Empires? Did you say the Age of Empires 4 trailer? I did, absolutely. They're bad people swayed by an evil path, unfortunately. Well, these are not really bad people. They're just, like, stupid. Like, that's all there is to it. I use the example, right? It's like, why do I... Like, there are certain types of harassment that bother me, and other types that don't bother me. And whenever I have a type of harassment, like these people that were mad at me on Twitter, they're the type of harassment that I genuinely don't care about. And here's why. If a dog barks at me, I don't ask myself, what did I do wrong? That's the way I look at a lot of those people. They're just stupid. They're stupid, and they're dumb. They have no fucking idea what they're saying. They have no logic tied up with this. They have no idea what they're talking about contextually and what they're arguing with. They just don't fucking know. They're nothing to me. They're stupid as fuck. I don't even consider their opinions. I'll be honest. I said this too, right? Is that if somebody ever uses, like they use me being white, they use me being cis, or anything like that, as an immutable characteristic about me, as part of their criticism of me, that criticism goes into the garbage. Like, I immediately stop reading it, and I don't take it seriously at all. Like, that's an immediate trash can. Like, not gonna happen whatsoever. Is this comfortable, Sam? It's an omega all term for me? Yeah, I think it's a joke, too. But these people think it's not. And they live their entire life thinking about these kinds of things. It's all they do. And what does cis even mean? I think it's called comfortable in skin, which means that they don't have, like, a, they don't feel like they're somebody else. I think, but I'm not 100% sure. Either way, if somebody ever uses a, any sort of term, is that not what it is? Really? So, yeah, cis is the opposite of trans. What does cis stand for? Let me see. Does cisgender. I thought CIS stood for comfortable in skin. I'm looking this up. I don't see that anywhere. So this is the same person that... So basically, it's not transgender. That's crazy. Made up words? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. But, like, what I'm saying is, yeah, I had no idea. It's a biology term? Well, that's good. I learned something today. I didn't know that... Because, like, that's what I always thought it was. That's crazy. Well, that's good. Because, yeah, I thought this for years. Okay, good. Yeah, it's an insult. No, it's basically apparently it's derivative of biology. I don't know exactly how it is, but I'd have to look at it myself. But regardless, chemical molecules have history in it. It's not a feminist. It's not feminist. It's not feminist chemistry. Okay, I think that it's actual biology. It's just people pull off the words to make them mean different things. So I have no idea. We'll have to look at it over else. And your attitude inspires other people to be toxic? I don't think so at all. And I think also if my attitude inspires other people to be toxic, I would easily say that theirs does as well. So I don't think this is necessarily a one-sided stream. Let's see here. Reason to wake up in the morning: going to work, going out, seeing friends, taking care of family. It is weird that I start early in the morning. It certainly is. Because, like, to me, I've always streamed, like, I am naturally a late night person, but the reason why I make myself wake up in the morning is because I know that even if I have to start my stream at 4 a.m., I will be late. I will be late. It doesn't matter if it's 4 a.m. or 4 p.m. or 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. I will be late to that stream no matter what. And we will get to the point where I am waking up early to do the stream because I've always pushed it to the limit. I always do that, and it's a problem, okay? Let's just say that. It's a fucking problem. I am not a 24-hour... I do not have a 24-hour sleeping cycle. I have probably like a 25 or 26-hour sleeping cycle. So I'm always staying up later, waking up later, staying up later, waking up later. That's just always what I do. And yes, also I know that I have a lot of EU viewers, and that's another big reason. I don't really know why, but I've just generated and created so many EU viewers over the years. It's kind of insane for me to think about. Yeah, I don't know why, but like I have more, I think, EU viewers than NA viewers in many cases. Real life war greater than WoW war. Wizard evidence burning. What else is there to say? Yep. What else is there to say? Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is they were probably doing this at the exact same time that they were making the cinematic. It's certainly fucking weird, man. Very, very interesting coincidence. Let's just say that. Very interesting coincidence. Broil the pain away. And what's this here? Was this a mechanic that I missed out on? Yeah, I mean, it was my first time seeing the fight, so I wasn't really sure exactly what it was. This is how tank swap works whenever you remove Shirk from your hotbar. Shirk gives your target in your party 25% of your own immunity used to make tank swap safe and simple differences in a DPS rotation. See, I thought that Shirk wasn't, and I'll actually ask Zeno about this, because he's going to be on All Cut today. I'll ask him myself, because my understanding of Shirk is that you don't even really need to use it. And this is why I think that you don't need to use it. And this is why I'm going to ask him directly. Because basically, the way Shirk works now is that it increases your threat generation for a short period of time that will make it to where you're not going to immediately lose threat the second after you aggro. It doesn't put you one threat point above them. It gives you a threat increase multiplier. No? Well, no. This is not a debatable argument. This is literally true. I looked this up. That's provoke. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I know. I confused myself again. I mean, you don't need Shirk because provoke does that. Yeah, because provoke does that, Shirk is unnecessary. You see what I'm saying? So you absolutely need Shirk. Provoke is just a +1. No, it's not a +1. It's not. I looked it up. Sure, yeah, I looked it up. It's not. That's not true. Provoke is not a +1. It's not. I can look it up. How does provoke work in Final Fantasy 14. Let me see if I can find this. Does provoke even aggro? Provoke Final Fantasy? Let's see if I can pull this up real quick. I don't know if I can find the information about this at all, because this is all like information from like 4 years ago, etc. Yeah, so it used to be a +1, but now it's not. And I will ask Xeno myself, because I looked this up, and based off of what I read, it does not work that way anymore, which I don't understand why you would need to use Shirk if Provoke gave you a threat modifier whenever you're pulling aggro. So I will ask him, and I'll see for myself, because this is just what makes sense to me. And I think asking somebody that knows more than I do is probably the best idea. Let's go back over here, and we're going to read the rest of these, okay? And, yeah. What's this here? Simplifying tank swap. Xeno's more reliable. Yeah, I think so too. Shirk lets keep big dicking, invoking tank if you do less damage. Yeah, of course. If you provoke near tank with damage phase, you use aggro. Maybe. I don't know. I think that there are certain circumstances that you can do it for. But either way, I don't think it's as necessary as people make it out to be. But that's why we're having them on all craft, and I'll find out for myself. Either way, let's look at the other stuff. Blizzard only listening to active players' feedback shows that they live in their own small delusional bubble. Forums are for sub only. No feedback from inactive players allowed. Polls are in-game only. No feedback from inactive players allowed. This makes it easy for game designers to create the immersion that everything is all right, so they can go on with their delusional mindset. There's some kind of communities that want to play the game, which reminds me of the safe space South Park episode. This is actually a very good point. Yeah, this is a really good point. Why would you care about the inactive players? Well, you'd want to know, like, for example, there are a lot of people that give feedback on my Reddit, and they talk about, like, you know, they're still part of my community, but they're not actively playing the game. And I think knowing why they would do that is very important. At least to me it is. I definitely think so. Excuse me, gentlemen. Okay, we're good. Anyway, yeah, I had to snort another line, okay? It's already been an hour into the stream. I'm trying to keep things high energy, okay? So yeah, listen, knowing why somebody quit playing is important. Yeah, it is. And also, like, if you're bringing out more and more changes, basically, if you're bringing out more and more changes, and the only people that you're making those changes in context of are the people that are already playing the game and not the people that were playing the game, you're making this circle smaller and smaller and smaller with every single change. And that's why I think, in my opinion, the best thing for Blizzard to do, the genuine best thing for Blizzard to do, is to try to remake the game. I think that they should try to remake the game in Classic Plus. I think they should try to do the OSRS route. Because if you look at the amount of things that are in retail WoW right now, the game is just completely fucking overloaded. It's so bloated, it's so overloaded, it is insane. And RuneScape is dog shit. They have no reason to change the game. They just want to milk the game. Well, wouldn't it be better for them to milk the game if they made the game better? Like, I don't know. I think that's what would make sense. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm not going to get an American company to do that. Well, here's the thing, right? Is if they don't do it, that's fine. People are just going to quit. Like, that's fine. I just think that is if they want to make the game better, that is the best option for them. Now, if they do that, great. If they don't, fuck them. That's the way I see it, man. You don't want to invest energy into it? Yeah. They need to change everything, dude. You want the same people that, what's this here? Let me go ahead and read this real quick. You want the same people who ruined the game to redo it. What makes you think that they won't just fuck it up again? Number one, good question. Number two, probably because they would involve the community in a more meaningful way. Yeah, but in my opinion, I think that the people that are designing the game, people get upset if I use developers because they say developers aren't making the game. The people that are making decisions for the content in World of Warcraft have no idea what they're doing. And they haven't for years. They're probably not even playing the game in many cases. I would love to see the armories and see the logs and see how these people play the game and figure out why exactly they're making the changes that they're making. Yeah. I want to see those because I bet they have no fucking idea what they're doing, man. Yeah, they're clueless. Scientists say genetically engineered cat girls are possible. Scientists say, but we lack funding. Expectation, probably reality. Ooh. That's not good. Cats, yeah. I'm worried about that. Just reminded me of what was happening in our community on Twitter. Opinions on the internet. What's this? And I'll go ahead and I'll watch the preach video in a second. Go ahead and pause this. I'll watch it.
I like that thing. What the fuck? I like that thing. You know, there are people who exist that like that thing. We will not be silenced, you fucking son of a bitch! I like that thing. I like that thing.
But I do like this thing.
I don't like that thing. I don't fuck. That thing fucking sucks. I fucking hate that thing. Oh!
I've seen a few of these guys' videos, and they're always so fucking good. They're always on point. And like, whenever you really, what is this here? Okay. Oh, whenever you really have people and you watch it and you see it happen, it makes it even more insane than it normally is. Like, you can actually see how fucking ridiculous those people actually act. And the worst thing is, like, sometimes you act that way too, but I do try to avoid it myself, okay? Let's see. What's in our watch later? I've clicked on some of these. Let's see. Elion, Save Your Money. I might watch that. Are you autistic? Okay, yeah, that, I was gonna do that off stream. Okay, let's see here. And we will watch the preach video first, okay, guys? Lost Ark, yeah. We'll figure that out too.
Preacher, have you played Final Fantasy 14? Are you keeping up with WoW news?
Lazy Art, yeah, we'll watch that afterwards.
Look at games that are in development
Give me a second.
months before they come out. There's a lot to talk about.
Watch the.
Let's go.
I don't know if I want to do like the autism video on stream, man. I feel like I'd look like an idiot. Yeah, I'd
Before we
look
get
like an
into
idiot.
the details, this video is brought to you by King's Bounty 2. More than happy to
What's
talk
this?
to these guys. King's Bounty was the first game that ever got me into open world RPGs. Back when I was a little boy on the Sega Mega Drive. That's the Genesis for Team USA. And King's Bounty 2 is launching this week, and we are going to be able to play it early, as well as show you some exciting
game looks good.
footage of it. You're going to get to choose from 3 primary characters,
Whoa,
and we are going to be able to play it.
Wait a minute. This is the same volcano as the one in New World. They stole New World's volcano. Look at this.
Early, as well as show you some exciting upcoming footage of it. You're going to get to choose from 3 primary characters in this big narrative open world RPG.
Hyper, thanks for the 5 tier 2 subs. Thank you very much.
Come with their own classes. You're going to be able to talent spec them out, build their own armor sets, but more importantly, you're going to be able to travel the land of Nostria, where you're going to get to recruit an entire army to your side, and that army is what you're going to use in this turn-based combat that you'll find throughout the world. You can decide to have dogs,
I was excited.
archers. I know I had a huge amount of militia back in the day.
I'm not a turn-based
monsters,
game kind of guy.
Whatever it is, and whatever skills
I
they
can't
have
deal
in
with
order
it.
to defeat the enemy.
I just
while
get bored
planning ahead
and
on what
annoyed.
is a good combination and a good mix depending on what you might find.
Turn-based.
Not only that, you have a ton of narrative choices, which we fully expect from our RPGs these days.
I know
you
that
can decide
people love
to
those
team up
games,
with the
but
dark
to
and
me, I'm
mysterious
just not
ones,
about
so
it.
maybe they'll help you out.
Yeah,
You can go
just
with
don't like
absolute brute force and put your big boots on and stamp all over the enemy, or you might be able to negotiate and work things out. Entirely up to you. And each of these narrative choices is going to play out in a completely different way, and I, for one, cannot wait to see how that works out. So thank you to King's Bounty 2 for sponsoring.
I get so mad because there are so many games out here that if, like, for example, Divinity 2 and, like, this game here and, like, Baldur's Gate are so cool, but I am just not going to play a turn-based game. Like, D&D is an exception that I have made, but I don't even like playing board games. I just think they're boring. I don't want to wait for somebody else to play. I just want to play the guy. I don't like them. Yeah, I don't like.
Providing us with some keys so we can have early access and play on Switch before the game came out. Do hit that link in the description to check out the game for yourselves.
Imagine.
Well, Preacher, what has it been like since you stopped covering World of Warcraft? So weird, dudes. So weird. I have all these like habits that are built into my fingers that I can't get rid of. Like every morning I still check MMO Champion. I still check over on the WoW subreddit, see what's going on. I can't help it. I Keeping up with the news, a lot of stuff.
Look at the thread, dude. Look at the thread. It says, the current streamer's trend to exit WoW is obviously partly hypocritical. Obviously partly. Yeah, that's great language there.
Keeping up with the news, a lot of stuff coming out, and as you can see, one of the reasons I stopped covering World of Warcraft is so much coverage of World of Warcraft now is entirely negative, and I don't want that in my life. I am more than happy to not have that in my life and just be like, oh, I've got to make a video on this now. Very cool. I liked what Belly
complain
did.
About covenants
the numbers and stuff was solid research.
We
did the same thing. You might remember we partnered with Raider.io to look into those things, and we saw the same thing and did not want to cover it like at all. We were like, okay, it's like falling off a hill. This is just not, and I don't want to make negative videos. I never want to do that. So yeah, it's
this obviously partly kind of does make sense.
What we were seeing, only 10% of people are raiding.
In a way, I
that
do
makes
agree.
Total sense. Like the big effect of Shadowlands has been on the raiders. Like
there's a way this could be true.
People always get surprised by that stuff. Like, oh, well, you should stop making content for raiders. No, just stop driving the raiders out.
To a limited way, this is hyperbolic.
To get those things done. But cool to see they're doing some cosmetic stuff to hopefully entice people to stick around for a little bit longer.
Yeah. Oh wow.
The art team shouldn't interfere with the development side of whatever's coming in.
As I said, man, is like whenever you look at all the developers that are talking shit about the player base in Twitter and stuff, they're never the art people. You know why? Because the art people actually have to work. It's never the people on the art team. It's always the people on like the design team or something like that. Yeah, the art team is actually working.
Good to see what's going on there. Really hoping to see the actual staff and stuff tell us about the changes that are happening over there and if it's a better environment, that kind of thing. That's what I would love to see going forward. A few clarifications. Do I still play? I play for 2 hours on a Tuesday. It's my night out with the boys. That's what it is. That's probably going to come to an end soon.
That's
we did say 2 weeks originally when we formed my heroic team. That's all it is. It's just a few guys from a number of mythic guilds. And, so many guilds are collapsing actually. Don't even have a guild. But it's like a Tuesday beer night with the boys. Just laugh. Nobody needs any gear, so I go get back to Yep. And I should repeat, because so many people, especially during drama time, every time we appear on drama time, people are like, oh, you want to talk about World of Warcraft anymore. The reason we're not covering it is not just because of the lawsuits. That was the story about the camel's back. It's a lot of other stuff that led to that point. So people still seem very confused on that topic. But no, that's the main thing. It's always just completely open and honest with you guys. What cool thing
I tried to do the same.
It's like another world. I swear to God. So we have decided to do what I want to do. So I want to expose as many people to quality games as possible. Because
imagine that. Quality games.
And I was not a World of Warcraft, only a Warcraft Blizzard guy. I wasn't. I fell into that. Like, really to be honest. Just happened to be a game I was playing at the time. I love World of Warcraft.
Some guy in chat asked, "Is it just me, or did Preach get his hairline back after playing WoW? After stopping playing WoW?" Yes. It's crazy what quitting World of Warcraft can do to you. This is entirely because he stopped playing WoW. Isn't that insane?
But I've always been a multi-gamer, not a mono gamer, which is kind of a weird term.
I used to be a mono
having the freedom to go and just be like, that looks awesome, let's play it. Let's do that. Has been super cool. But more importantly, and I put this out on Twitter, which got a ridiculous response from you guys, is I've been dealing with a lot of developers recently. So I have had to sign an NDA. I am helping out with the development of a game that is not due out until March next year.
That's cool.
Like that.
Damn.
I can't tell you any more about that because I am under NDA, but it's super cool that people are reaching out like, can you take a look and see what you think? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like I've been trying to do that for years. Let's do that. That's been super cool. But more importantly, I've been talking to a lot of devs like behind the scenes. And I've tried to draw attention to that as much as possible because the difference, I cannot tell you, the absolute difference between my dealings with Blizzard and the dealings with the developers has just been like ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous when it comes to just having a fun conversation about all the...
Can you carve out animation?
I often felt,
I'll look at it.
We were...
It always feel like Blizzard is like the government, and like the people want, they want a new road built, but the government wants to, keep the money so they can have another champagne party with the donators again. And it's like, this is what it was like for so long. And it is weird to see other development teams. I think the first time that I noticed this was with New World. And the New World development team, like, we had a lot of like really bad feedback from New World, and they were like really happy and they wanted to hear everything about it because they just wanted to make the game better. And I was like, this is awesome. Okay, great. You know, this is, and like also whenever, you know, you get treated that way, like now I'm not going to act that crazy and get that mad because I feel like I've got a better, you know, like what's the word for it? I've got a better connection and like a better way to be heard. Like, I don't think I have to get as mad. Does that make sense?
Green, upset.
No new one. Oh, okay.
You know, one feel valid. Remember, you guys probably remember during the
mutual respect.
I put out an enormous post on the actual official forums. I was like, fine, we'll go to the official forums. I do know the devs watch my videos and stuff, but I'll go over here. I'm not expecting my ideas to make sense. Like, a lot of the things we've suggested have gone into the game, but not everything, obviously. Otherwise, but about a big thing about RPG stuff, because I love RPGs. I absolutely love RPGs. My favorite one of all time is Divinity Original Sin 2. Pretty good game. But I was like, you know,
another one.
Opportunity for something.
Why?
I spoke to somebody at BlizzCon about it, and they were like, yeah, it's not really the direction anymore. And then the next expansion was like, we're doing all this RPG stuff, and we're like, it's so weird. And it took like 5 or 6 years, I think it was 6 years before I ever spoke to somebody else. Which is fine, I don't expect to be spoken to by anybody at all. It was like, the impression was like, the hand of God. That's how it felt at the time. Flip to now, where last week we were covering like 5 different games. And I know YouTube is down, that's okay. That's okay in my book. I'm happy with what we're doing, and we're going to get better at it.
It's hard to transition and play another game. And I think that's one of the biggest weaknesses that, like, especially a lot of WoW content creators have. And this has been obvious for many creators, is that the moment that they move to another game, their viewers go from, like, especially, and this is like, with Preach, it's not as bad because he's partially like he's a personality. Like, if you're a competitive player for, let's say, Mythic Plus, why would anybody want to watch you play Valorant? Why would anybody want to watch you play Getting Over? Why would anybody want to watch you play Fall Guys? There's no reason. So it's sad, but there it is. And those are the people that really lose the most, is the competitive players who don't really have much of a personality. They don't really have, you know, they're not on that same, like, world-class level in these other games. So you ask yourself, like, every person, every reason that you're watching somebody, there's a point for that, right? There's a reason why you're watching someone. So you either watch someone, generally, there's like 2 reasons you watch somebody. You watch them because you like them, or you watch them because they're good at the game. Like, that's one or the other. Or because, you know, like, they're going to turn around and flip it and then use that for later on. But either way, I think those are the 2 different reasons. So if there's not one or the other, that person's stream will die. So if people watch you because you're good at a game, and then you play a game that you're not good at, why would people watch you? It's literally that simple.
I know most of my audience.
Yeah, that's it.
It's fine. It's okay.
Yep.
We're going through a change like it's okay, man. That's all right. But in this world over here, my goal is to, like, expose as many people. You guys are cool. Because, you know, losing that passion for as long as I've been rough, like, literally.
It sucks. It definitely does suck. Like, it felt that way to me too, like, to not feel that way. And I also want to say, like, with me personally, right, people like whenever I get a commentary on things, and they like my, like, just chatting type content, and they like videos where I'm just talking about stuff. Those are my most popular videos, and trying out new games and getting first impressions on them. That is what people like the most from me, and also my community events. So if I can play another game that allows me to hit those boxes, like Final Fantasy, for example, that game is going to be just as successful, or in WoW's case, right, with Final Fantasy, it's going to be even more successful than what it was before. Now, if you talk about playing, like, let's say Valorant or playing, like, CSGO, I'm sure some people would want to see me play a game like that, absolutely. But that's not really why people watch me. They don't watch me to watch me, like, play video games seriously.
If I'm passionate about X and Y, I'm going to talk about X and Y. And hopefully pass that passion and maybe catch your eye over there.
Not long term. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
the things that I create. That makes me so
it's a global elite, yeah.
But in that time, I've been talking to these devs who were like, it's just, they care so much. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, of course.
Blizzard doesn't care. But the way they show that is just magnificent. Magnificent. And I can't use a better word for it. It's just getting involved, digging deep. When we find a problem, like, oh, yeah. I'll give you an example. We were playing Grime recently. And the devs were there, they were watching us play. And they knew they'd made a blunder. And it was coming up. So when you get to the very last boss of the game, like all the buildings here, it's a super difficult
platform. It seems like a good game.
It's really hard to get to the very last boss. They have a ladder. Up goes, it's just literally a ladder in front of you. And above you is the last boss. And below the ladder is the checkpoint. So if the last boss kills you, you don't have to redo this ridiculously hard platform.
That's good.
But you can't see it.
That's really good.
Right? You can't see what's above you.
I've
you
never
can't
seen
see what's
this
below you. So when you get there, you're like, which way shall I go? Up or down? So I went up, which meant the last boss. And I died, obviously. First time last boss. And then that meant I had to redo the whole boss. And the devs are like, yeah, I tried to warn you. And they did. They actually warned me before I got it. It was like, please go down the ladder. Because they knew they'd make an elementary blunder in not really showing off what was there. That people would end up going to the last boss, getting their ass kicked, and redoing the entire section. It wasn't the intention. They gave you a checkpoint, but you just couldn't see it. So
Dark Souls 2 has some of those. Like Sir Alone, for example, I think it's one of the worst ones where it just takes forever just to get back to the boss. That is one of the most frustrating types of gameplay you can ever imagine.
Where they were like, oh, we really fucked that up. Oh, well, you know, we're going to sort that out next time, and we're going to make sure we don't do that again in the future. And took it with, like, yeah, you know, it's... what it wasn't was, like, dead silence, you know, like, that's what I felt like sometimes it was. Like, hey, you kind of fucked up, like, Benedict Jen, right? Remember I asked Ian about it? And I gotta say,
it was bad.
I know a lot of people hate it. I don't. He was always awesome with me, as was John and Morgan Day. When I told these guys, they have that passion. You know, they're not always agree, but, like, I don't have any hate. I just want to pull that out because people do that I hate them. Like, I don't feel that way whatsoever. But they were like, yeah, we're gonna, you know, the next game we're totally gonna.
It's a big team.
That's very true. Try and sort that out. And they did it earlier as well with a quest that the wording was slightly off, so it led you.
Well, the thing is with the Benthic here, for example, is like they could have fixed it by just fixing it during the patch. I think Blizzard, like, there's no reason to, if you release a system and the system is bad, that's not like, oh, well, we'll do another system next patch. Like, no, like, I don't want to have to play through that patch that's bad. Like, why are we having to do this? I don't understand it. And that's one of the big differences to me that I've noticed, is that I've just felt like my tolerance for that kind of weird behavior and that kind of bullshit just immediately just goes down so much now. It just goes down so fucking quick. And it's just refresh page. Wait, what's wrong? Is there something wrong? I think everything should be fine. It was only bad for the top 1%. Was it? I mean, I feel like everybody wanted to get the Benthic gear that was high level, right? I mean, I think that at least like everybody that I know wanted to. Like, this is the thing that yeah, this is a WoW player. I think this is a WoW player fallacy. That any time that somebody talks about trying to obtain something that makes their character better, it is assumed that the process of that is only appealing to the top 1%, which is not true. It's such a weird assumption to make that, oh, only the top 1% of players care about getting better at the game or making their character better. It's like the top, like, half of the player base that cares about that. I'd say the majority of the player base care about that. The top 1% argument is ridiculous.
Yeah, you know, people can get stuck in with a big thing, you know.
Everybody wants to get better.
But like open and chit-chatting about it and talking to us afterwards and being like, it's working the problem. Yeah, absolutely. never felt that way back. Which is just, I'm not shitting on Blizzard, I'm saying it's a different world. Like, being in a different world is crazy. It's really crazy. It's so awesome. Like, this fire to, like move forward and get things done.
Exactly. That's the way a lot of companies should look at things. I saw a comment in chat that said Peekaboo doesn't have good conduits and is still an AWC player. Number one, AWC is played on a PTR that everybody has the same gear, number one. Number two, just because that's the case, like, I don't understand, like, yeah, that's on Tournament Realm, number one. Also, what does that matter? It's not that you can't accomplish things without the best gear. Of course you can succeed with the best gear. Absolutely you can succeed without the best gear. However, that doesn't mean that people that play RPGs want to see that loot drop. They want to get that new piece of gear. They want to have that new item that they say, fuck yes, I have this new item, now I'm going to progress. And it's so weird to me that people assume that, like, oh, well, because you don't need this to succeed, that people shouldn't want it. No, man. So many people want those really cool items. Yeah, personal checkpoints, like personal goals. Yeah, so many people want that. Look at, like, Classic WoW, for example. Like, Classic WoW, so many people cared about just getting that blue item, just getting that epic item. And did they need those things? No, they didn't need those things, but they wanted them so much because that's what the game is about. That's the whole point of it, yeah.
And see what we can make happen there. So, very excited about that.
Yeah.
People always ask me, like, about Final Fantasy 14. Look, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to jump into another MMO right now. Like, I've got
Smart.
New World coming, and I'm gonna, like, check New World out. As I said in my coverage of that game, I don't think it's gonna last more than 2, 3, 4 weeks.
I
And
think
then the hype
5 or
will
6
die off
weeks.
that.
Come on, 5
all
or 6
new
weeks.
MMOs suffer from this problem of having this longevity issue, and its endgame doesn't look particularly good, but the journey's going to be fine, and I'm fine to go on that journey.
Yeah,
when it
in-game
comes to
for
Final
New
Fantasy
World.
14, honestly, I'm just not
really
ready
there.
to jump into that kind of commitment right now. I am so happy with these games that we're covering right now, which are like 4 or 5 days worth of gameplay that is absolutely immensely fun.
The problem with New World is, like, there's no apex accomplishments in New World. Like, you get the gear, and the gear is very accessible. Like, you look at, like, a lot of the streams. I remember watching Josh OG. Like, Josh OG basically had best in slot or close to best in slot gear after playing the beta for a couple of weeks. Like, yes, obviously he's playing way more than everybody else. 100% he is. However, that doesn't make a difference whenever you're looking at how many other people are going to be playing that much proportionally.
Cool, super interesting.
Yeah,
and then we move on to the next thing. That's really satiating a need that I love, that I've not had for a while because it's been like World of Warcraft every single day. Yeah. So I'm taking a break from that before we jump into something like that. I'm not saying never to Final Fantasy 14. Not doing that. But right now it's not.
It'd be cool to see Preach play it. That would be badass.
To MMO, because you know, I've been talking about that stuff for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So taking that break has been fantastic. But I just want to say, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, is although not many of you are watching SideQuest right now, and it's building, which is great. It's like it's doing what it's supposed to do. And it will be bringing in a new audience. I just want to say, for those of you who are like
analyzing a fight,
that video compared to our WoW stuff, we might get a video with like 150,000 views on World of Warcraft, but you might get 2-3K likes. We're seeing videos with like 10K views with like 2K likes. Like, thank you so much.
Higher engagement on like likes and viewer engagement is important. Like, obviously it's important to keep hitting big numbers occasionally, and you should want to do that. And the worst thing that I think a lot of content creators can do is that they will transition completely away from like what their original game was, and then after a while people get tired of watching the new game, and then they can't go back to the old game. And this is kind of what happened whenever I first started doing variety streaming in 2018, where I just went and I did one new game after another new game after another new game, and I indirectly like conditioned my chat into just disliking World of Warcraft, and that just made it harder for me to be able to go back and play the game. And it just sucked. Yeah, it just absolutely fucking sucked. And nowadays, like, it's hard not to do that because of, like, all the other like external stuff, like you know, the lawsuit, the patch cycles, etc. So it's very hard to actually go in and talk about those things, but and really act like that's my fault. But before it was, Esports says you're quitting Twitch? That's crazy.
And now we're getting this attention, and we're speaking. The team internally.
Damn,
like,
that's
poor
crazy.
Nups, who works on our team, is just constantly now in talks with people for really cool projects that you guys are gonna find out over the times, because people are like, hey, let's talk, let's do some stuff, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. So you'll see more about that coming up, as well as our September event. I'll be letting you know about in a couple of days. That we've been planning since like January. Hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you so much for listening, guys. Love you all. Thank you so much for the support. I can't express to you enough how happy I feel.
Yeah, it's been great
right now. You guys are awesome. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Absolutely.
Okay, so in G-Star 2019.
Let me see here. I was gonna look at this at a certain point, but right now I just got fucking. Can I pause
okay,
and fucking
so in
just?
G-Star
It's fucking long. Come on, just stop.
Second.
I hate, dude. I hate in these things where it changes the location of the buttons, man. It drives me crazy. Let me see if I can find this video. I was gonna watch the video. There was a video about botting in TBC, and people were telling me yesterday about how bots in TBC are really bad, and then I want to actually watch this. I'm gonna watch the TBC botting video, then I probably want to watch that one after that. Okay, Carbot. I already saw it, man. Yeah, I already saw the Carbot video. I was gonna literally type Lily video. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that, then I'll be good. It's not that bad, to be honest. This is why people were against the 58 boost. Bots are out of control. All right, here we go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go.
Here. I wasn't going to do this video initially because I know it's something that Blizzard have shown time and again they just aren't really willing to commit resources to stopping this kind of thing happening. But the amount of damage caused to the game by the level 58
this guy's got some good gear,
especially the new wave of bots which are taking advantage of this in TBC Classic, is much worse than I ever expected it to be. Most of the footage here from the open world was done within the space of 1 hour on a Thursday morning.
1 hour.
I just want to say that to give you an idea of how very, very easy it is to find bots doing this. Literally every single bot without fail was a level 58 boosted character. The limitation of 1 per account.
And you can tell if they're boosty boys because they have communal gear on still, and you can only get that if you boosted.
For bots is completely irrelevant. As expected for them, it's just a huge time save from actually having to level. The restriction of no Draenei or Blood Elf equally doesn't matter whatsoever.
No, because they're just playing other classes.
It's an extra $40 or whatever it is they pay for this service on top of the sub fee. This is so much extra money for Blizzard. Even if these characters are being banned within the space of a month, the time it takes them to break even is next to nothing. Also, the boosters.
That's exactly the problem with the 58 boost, is basically the way that you. It's very simple. Botting occurs if the barrier to entry to botting is lower than the profit from it. So, for example, if you can bot and immediately start making money, you are going to bot and immediately start making money. But the problem is that now that you start at 58, here, let me go. Fuck. All right, let me go ahead and do this real quick, okay? So this is the amount of money that you make, and this is the amount of. Fuck. Do I even? I feel like I'm drawing a Confederate flag. Okay, look, let's move out of here. Yeah, the point I'm making is that if you go up. And yeah, I don't know why. I felt like I was drawing a Confederate flag. I had to stop it. Either continue, K Kona. All right. What I'm saying is that the amount of money that you have to spend has to be less than the amount of money that you're going to get in order for botting to be profitable. So if you start at level 1, you have that huge window of 1 to 58 that you can get reported and banned in. And each time that happens, that's $15. So if you start at 58, though, you immediately bypass all of that time and you go straight into the money-making section. And that's why the botting is bad.
So much harm to the old world. It just feels dead. People aren't out there leveling and questing anymore as they used to be. Whenever people say how much Cataclysm ruined the game because it changed the open world, just seems more and more BS the more I hear it. In Classic, so many people chose to boost past all the content, and now in TBC you can do the same by giving, instead of money in game to a mage, real money to Blizzard. You know what else? Do you have a T-Boo's Blazing Longsword, or you bought one in Classic? That incredibly special and unique item. It's on the box of the original game. It's always been heralded for its mystical.
We had one
rareness,
drop
and
in Classic
is
WoW.
Worth an absolute fortune on retail.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's kind of worthless on Classic now, and it's getting cheaper by the day. You know the bots inside Blackrock Depths, the rogues, the ones that have played the instance with pickpocketing for well over a year now? Well, don't you worry, they're still going good and strong. In fact,
I love how everybody could see this happening except Blizzard. Every single person could see this happening. Everybody knew it. Everybody knew this shit was gonna happen. And it's like, I don't understand how they just let it happen. It's nuts. They saw it, they didn't care. Yeah, they just don't give a shit, man. It's sad, but there it is. They're so stupid. They saw it, but they wanted the cash. They saw it. I think that, yeah, they care about the game, but they care about money more. That's all there is to it. Like, I wonder if it's like this on Fairlina.
Even got a raise in TBC because Tibu's blazing longsword,
23
the epic
people.
Fiery sword, drops from the heavy junk boxes that they pickpocket all day long.
How
in
convenient.
The TBC patch that we're playing on.
Yeah,
so
how
if you
convenient.
ever got hold of one of these as a trophy in Classic, intending to just hold on to it for the sake of it because you could never get one on retail, or to try and sell it at a later date, then that's one very expensive paperweight, I'm afraid. Well, at least you don't lose money until you sell it. Right? Right? Anyway, let's take a fly around the good old continent of Outland and see if we can find ourselves any average farming enjoyers. By the way, I reckon there are a good few gold farmers in here as well. It's just
there are no farming enjoyers, okay? Like, Willie, I don't know what you're thinking. What do you think? Somebody goes out there and they're like, oh, good chap, I think I'm just gonna go over and do some farming in the game. Why? No, you don't farm in the game anymore, you loser. You go on retail WoW, you buy WoW tokens, and then you trade the gold on a popular server for gold and TBC. You just buy the gold legally, and that's how you do it. I mean, if you're not doing that, you're not even trying.
But with some of them, they either look like stolen or sold characters because, my god, we're going to be seeing some interesting item and talent choices.
Yeah, I bet we are.
Refuse to believe somebody could have played the game as much as these people are geared and actively have made that choice unless they are huffing industrial quality paint thinner prior to logging in. So, starting outside chapter, Silmia Lake, or as I like to call it, the Druid Nature Reserve, which is home to usually about half a dozen or so of our furry friends, happily farming away after those moats of water. We usually have some warlocks here too, and the occasional rogue. I found all three. Druids are good, especially Feral, who can lead with a pack healing, and Aquatic Ball for, well, breathing in the water. Locks are good too because they can just cast that spell. And mobs here also respawn insanely quickly. This place was very busy for a Thursday morning, I must say. After this, I decided to head up north to the Dead Mire, another great farming spot. The giants here can be heard upon
they're all dead.
Different items, including Tarot.
Every single one is dead.
Server, but for me, they're over 6 gold each. That's a lot.
Wow.
This is a good spot for farming primal life as well, and also has a bunch of mining.
Look at them.
Various herd nodes.
They're going
Well.
extinct.
If you've leveled here in, well, the past month or so,
they're withering out
at this point, then you've probably seen people running eagerly to try and grab anything that you killed as soon as you
Absolutely.
do. But there was only about 4 or 5 people here at the time, including some regular players I thought at least, so that's not really a problem, is it? Next, we're going to head over to Void Ridge. I think we're going to...
It's just like this kind of stuff, I think it's so bad for a game, man. Like, it's so bad for a fucking game. And the thing that's frustrating about it is the fact that Blizzard just doesn't give a shit. Because these people are level 70. That means they've been in the game for days, probably weeks, maybe even months, and they never get banned at all. It's just so, it's so frustrating to see that because it just seems like they don't even give a shit at all. Like they just don't care. And the more also that like it's a new player game, I can play fun. The thing is, yeah, you can play this game and still have fun playing the game, all right? I want to make this very clear. You can still have fun and play the game, but this does not mean that it's not bad. The twinking scene buys thousands and thousands of gold. Yeah, every scene buys thousands and thousands of gold, okay? Nobody's special.
I like this. Came across another druid who was about as human as the T-1000, and I was going to report him anyway, and then I saw this talent choice in particular, and even if he wasn't a bot, I still would have been tempted to report him just for this alone. Regardless, we went over a bit more east, and you'll be glad to know that I'm kidding. Oh my god, there's so many bots around this one spot. This is unreal. They're all farming modes of shadow here.
Of course they are.
I remember doing weapon skill on my paladin not so long ago, and I thought this place was just really busy because of, you know, popular farm spot.
Yeah, what a surprise.
As per usual, and as we've seen so far, everyone is a boosty here. Loaded up on BOE gear.
Oh my god, the boosty boys, man. Like, it's so weird for me to read this because you remember back whenever we went over to... Where was it? It was in like Nazmir in retail WoW, and there was literally like 50 Moonkin bots running a circle around over and over and over. That was one of the funniest fucking things that I had ever seen in my life. Like, I couldn't even believe it was happening. Like, yeah, the Moon Boys. It was just the boosting crusade. Yeah, that was probably the best. Like, if somebody has to look at that, I'll watch the clip so people can see it. Show it. I'll show it real quick, okay? Let me see. Let me go ahead and open it up on YouTube just so you guys can remember what this was. Asmongold, Boosty Boys, Moon Boys botting. Asmongold, Moon Boys. 1 million views almost on this video. Look at this. Look at them all. Wait a second. This is the state of retail WoW. None of these are real players. Look at this shit. Does it still happen? I don't know. I genuinely have no idea. There is no reason for me to think that it's not. So in Classic WoW, I'm sure I think in Classic WoW it's even worse in some ways because people care about gold more in Classic WoW.
And most of them were even level 70s, your druids, warlocks, and a few rogues in the mix as well. I decided to pop on Click to Move, as is tradition here, it appears, and join in the fun a bit. I even got an applause from one of them, so well, that was nice, wasn't it? And all the Void Walkers that spawn here are on Hyperspawn, just like the eels in Sylmia Lake that we saw a little bit ago. And this is all...
So for anybody who doesn't know, Hyperspawn is whenever you kill one mob, it's basically like a whack-a-mole. So you have like, there's like 6 moles, and as soon as you knock one down, another one comes up. So Hyperspawn is whack-a-mole, whereas not like each individual one has like a 5-minute respawn. Like they have respawns that are tied to, if they're all dead, it forces a respawn somewhere else.
Open world, imagine. In Classic, at least...
Let me see here. I'm going to read something real quick. You're just wrong. The average Classic player doesn't care about bots or any of this shit you're complaining about. I think they do. Yeah, so this right here, these are the individuals here. I have to go ahead and refer to. I'm just gonna pull this up. I don't like pulling people's logs a whole lot, but we're gonna look at it and just see what it says. So his name is Naga Please, okay, and this is the person. Why cry? Make McConnell split the gold. Kick the rogue. So he's backseating me in Classic WoW. No sleep till 65. Your take has already done enough damage to your intelligence. All crybaby bullshit. No announcement. Exclamation point. Please give me something. In the from the charity event. These are the people. He left the stream already. I buy gold from a third-party website. So wait, it says just wrong. The average Classic player doesn't care about bots. Well, no, you're right because the average Classic player is a bot. The boost lives rent-free in your head, just like you live rent-free in your haters' heads. It doesn't affect you unless you let it. Yeah, this is gonna be a ban. I'll use you for content in 6 months for the next ban appeals, okay? Oh my God, that is a real Classic Andy. We caught him right there out in the wild. I feel like we just caught like a Zubat or something, We caught like a little Pidgey. Good ban. That guy's an idiot. Yeah, what a fucking idiot.
Jordan was inside instantly
Yeah, it's
this
like a zoo
is just
animal.
for me flying from one spot to another, which I know are pretty heavily botted in the morning in one go. This would be so easy.
It's sad.
If actual human game masters were employed to log into the game.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Not to
Human
rely
game
upon
master?
automation or player reports to sort this out.
Settle
Why do they
down.
have to rely on player reports when we're already paying them? What exactly
calm down
are we paying for here? You want one big reason why Classic Fresh is going to flop? Go and rewind the last few minutes of this video and imagine how a player feels when they want to try and farm some gold for trade consumables or to level a professional to buy a BOE and they're met with this. Expect this with Fresh Classic, by the way, when it happens. Expect a billion-dollar company to value people shitting on the economy for their extra dollars as much as you, the loyal player. Because we have...
Yeah, why would the thing is, if you are farming for Primal Shadow, here's the reality, right? Is you're farming for Primal Shadow and you are working against a machine. Like, what was the story that we learned back whenever we were kids? Was it Paul Bunyan or whatever, who tried to fucking, you know, chisel his way through a mountain against a robot? John Henry. Yeah, there's an old story, you know, us K-Konas used to learn, is that there was a machine that would drill through a mountain, and there was also a person that said he could go faster than the machine. And he beat the machine, but he died. And this is what you're gonna have to do if you want to compete with somebody who's playing 24/7. Is every single person who's doing this, because what you're doing here is that you are not... all right, give me a second. This isn't what you think it is. Okay, so you have, this is the normal amount of people that are buying Primal Shadow. And give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and show you. So this is the amount of people that are buying it without, what do you call it? Jesus Christ. I have such brain delay right now. Like, I have like really bad brain fog. It's hard for me to think. Fuck. Okay, all right, give me a second. Let me get there. All right, so it's not the stars and bar. It's not the French flags. Wait, it's 4 French flags. Oh. Okay, all right, I got that. What I'm saying is, like, they are increasing the demand. This is the demand, and this is the supply. Or sorry, no, fuck. Okay, I'm not gonna do any paint today because my brain is just not working. I can't think properly. That's all there is to it, right? My brain is just broken today. They're driving the price down, okay? That's all I'm trying to say.
Perfected. They have all
I can't do it.
Done. The gold farm programmed and ready to fire up. They know what trigger's bound, and they're gonna hopefully confess the game once again while not enough is ever done about it. Let's round this out with some bunch, shall we? They're always popular. Of course, ERB is as popular as ever, even with rogues being able to get TVs now. Obviously, they never have to leave the instance, so you can't actually report them unless you whisper them something and then write a report of that.
Yep.
Yes, there's even places to sell inside the dungeon, so
makes it very convenient. Well, the thing is that's why they do it inside of an instance, because you can't right-click report from the /who. So all of these people that you're seeing here are never getting targeted by another player and getting reported by them. That's just what happens.
If somebody could, you know, teleport to them, or maybe
it's sad,
even
but there it is.
Them out to the dungeon to some remote location and see how they react. When they're all level 58, coincidentally. I hopped over to the slow pen where we came across another character, shall we say. Bellstrike Hood.
Oh wow, he's got good gear.
Damn. Oh, sorry about the interruption of looking at the gear.
Oh yeah.
Got this constant stream of rogues coming out the instance. Imagine all those really good epics. He must have some good trinkets too, like Lightstone and... There's no way. This has to be a wind-up. You can't actually be serious. Why not?
I didn't even know you could put it. I forgot. What is this? Oh my god.
It's a wind-up? Oh, it's so fucking sad, man. 2 million active players. 2 million accounts. Let's just say that. 2 million accounts. I mean, you're right, because you're not going to replace a purple item with a blue. What are you, a loser? Yeah, of course.
I know the item's purple, but you probably want something with something known as stats on them. They're quite good.
Imagine that.
In fact, where's your boosted trinket? That would be better than this by a long way. Anyways, I
all
hung
of his
outside
items
the
are
pens for a bit,
BOEs.
and we had a steady stream of rogues and mages.
I like how it auto completes into bot. Like it already knows what he's going to say.
Every single one of them being a boost, popping in and out. There's probably some legitimate players in.
Yeah, dude, stats are just for the top 1% of players, okay, guys? Like, average people don't care about stats. Like, stats, this is just like a ego thing that, like, super serious players care about, all right? Like, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
There as well. People actually boost slow pens in TBC for gold.
Yeah.
In terms of what they're farming for level 60s, you can see talents on some rogues here that maxed out movement speed and their ability to reset vanish or reset in general. I imagine they're just mining and having usual stuff. As for mages, I guess the gold farms in here are doable at level 60.
Yeah, I know that.
The past of mages, which are pure bots farming through Maradon, so I wouldn't put it past them at this point. Finally,
and if you see there, like, and I brought this up in another botting video that I had seen before, is that they zone out with stealth on to make it harder to target them, and then they use sprint to enter the instance so that it's less likely and they spend less time. Like, let's say they're going from spending 4 seconds outside to spending 3.5 seconds outside. That just cut down the probability of them getting reported, right-click reported, by fucking, like, what's that, like 1/8 of a percent, or like 1/8, basically. That's what they do. So these are maximized for efficiency. Like, in a way with me, like, this sounds fucking insane, but I would actually like to start botting in WoW to figure out all the different ways that I can get around Blizzard. I would make it my own, like, metagame. It's like a borrowed power progression system like pet battles, except for the pet battles are on hardcore, and if you get caught, the pet dies. You know what I mean? Like, you actually have to, like, try to figure it out. It would be funny to fucking do, man. Like, I know that sounds terrible. It sounds absolutely awful. I should not do this. But just trying to figure out how to get around Blizzard would be so fucking funny. Some people make thousands of dollars selling gold. Honestly, if I was smarter whenever I was younger, I would have started botting and selling gold, man. I'm surprised I didn't do that more.
Headed over to the Manitou, which had a similarly insane number of rogues on the /2 when the damn thing decides to work, that is. This place is known for chests and mining routes. And this is it. This is the impact of the boost and how many bots there are 3 months in. Now I know regardless of the boost...
Said more, I meant in terms of, like, I've never bought it in WoW. I have never bought it in WoW. I never have. I know this might sound crazy, but I have never bought it in WoW. The only thing that I ever have done is I bought game time with gold. Back in the day, before they had the WoW token, I bought game time with gold. And this was very common that you did this in trade. Yeah, a lot of people, this is like back in like Mists of Pandaria, that was it. Everyone did that at some point. I think a lot of people did it. It was like just super normal. And I didn't even really know if it was TOS. And then like they started cracking down on it and I stopped doing it. But that was like about the time that I was able to get like a real job. So I didn't need to worry about it anymore. Not even fish botting. Yeah, not even fish botting, man. It was a long time ago. How could you be botting whenever you were legit playing it nonstop? Yeah, good fucking question. But I was really close to actually botting myself. And I don't know why I didn't do it. You make $350,000 a year by botting. Greg Hoglund did video and did the math in 2007. Go see the video. Mytharius, I don't know what that is. Yeah, somebody would have to find that.
Existing Blizzard should be doing better nevertheless, but this is one of the reasons why a lot of people did not want it in the first place, because it was always going to be an issue. I don't know
I never
how
seen
I play
that.
as a more casual person who has had less time so far to farm up, or to get crafted gear or epic flying. Farming out in the open world just seems so impossible to compete. Even status items like T-Boos are getting worthless due to this. Try any of these spots I've been to on your server or doing a /2 on your server, provided you have some kind of population there, of course. I'm sure you will see something similar, especially the lake outside Shat. You can probably get to that one really fast, and I swear it's like this all day, every day at the moment. But don't you worry, I'm sure the 6th monthly ban wave will hit in about 3 months or so, and then we'll be fine.
No,
again, right?
I don't believe this.